we're going to get started with the lesson. Today's lesson is over. It's going to be the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. So we're going to talk about the fear of Yah a little bit, and that's the beginning of wisdom. Many fall short of the fear of Yah. Just like we were talking about pureness last week, last Shabbat. The Most High wants pureness, and people should justify pureness to their standards and their desire, and they don't seek to do the pureness that the Most High has commanded them to do. It was not a suggestion. But today we're going to talk about the fear of Yah is the beginning of understanding. So I pray the lesson go out in sincerity and truth, and that Yah be in the lesson. First we're going to start in Psalms 111, verse 10. Psalms 111 and verse 10. It reads, verse 10, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endured forever. And the start of that, it says, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endured forever. So it's making it very clear, the smart people fear Yah, and it's a healthy fear, it's a respectful fear, and the scriptures say it's the beginning of wisdom. So in order for you to get wisdom, you have to have some fear of Yah going for you. That was Psalms 111:10, and now we're going to go to Proverbs 1, chapter 1, verse 7. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7. Verse 7 reads, the fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge. So we understand knowledge and wisdom is not the same. Knowledge is something that, you're studying, you're working hard towards, but wisdom no man can get. It's a gift from Yah. So we got wisdom in Psalms, in the book of Psalms, it said the beginning, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Like some people have very wise minds. It's nothing that you can learn or you can study. It's just a gift. It's just a natural talent. That's how wisdom is. But in Proverbs 1 it says, the fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge. But fools despise wisdom and instruction, because we get instruction by the knowledge of reading the Torah, of seeking his word out, and wisdom comes in like the spirit, like the Ruach, to help amplify everything, like the wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom can't be taught. It has to be bestowed upon you, like the wisdom of Solomon. He didn't pick up a book and learn any of that stuff. It was just a gift from the Most High. The Most High adorned him in wisdom. Now we're going to go to Revelations chapter 3 and 19. Revelations chapter 3 and 19. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. See, right there, Yahushua Mashiach is making it clear, all you that I love, and all you that seek me, be of understanding that I chasten too. I will put hands on you for your benefits. You know, that goes with that fear. You know, a lot of people think, you know, they can just come and worship the Most High any type of way, ain't nothing gonna happen to them. But when it does happen, they just ask why over it. He say right here in 19, as many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. And you know, that mean like, you know, that would be metaphorically a spanking, a whipping, you know, some lashes, you know. And how that come, that can come in many ways, financial, that relationship wise, that you know, a whole many ways. You can be cursed with a sickness, you know, it can be a whole many ways, a lot of ways. So he said, be zealous and repent. So, you know, having that fear, don't play with me. Now we're going to go to Ecclesiastes 3:14 in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 3:14 in the Bible. Ecclesiastes 3:14 reads, I know that whatsoever Yah doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be but to it, nor anything taken from it. And Yah doeth it, that man should fear before him. So the Most High is establishing his dominance like an alpha lion in the pride. He's saying, no, nobody eat till I say eat. Nobody say go till I say go. You know, he's establishing himself as the pack leader here, you know, metaphorically speaking. And he's letting you know, I know that whatsoever Yah doeth, it shall be forever, and it's going to be forever. Nothing can be but put to it, nor anything taken from it. So, you know, just like with the tree of life, you know, the Most High allowed it to happen. The Most High wasn't, you know, because it was a free will choice at that particular time. If he didn't want Adam and Eve to simply not eat it or whatnot, he would have simply not put it there, or simply put something around it for them not to be able to get to. But he allowed them to make a free will choice, and we all know that they made a terrible decision with their free will at that particular moment. You know, wrong choice for everybody. Okay, so but the main part of that is it abides forever. That's what I want to mainly bring there. Now we'll go to Hebrews chapter 10. I'm going to touch on several verses. Chapter 10, verse 31. So whatever Yah does, he does it forever. Hebrews chapter 10, 31. Hebrews chapter 10, 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yah. See right there, you know, it's all back and forth. Like, hey, you know, this being is nothing to play with. You know, even Paul, who people say, you know, is a teacher of breaking of the law, which he's not. But he's even saying it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yah. And this, I wasn't going to go here, but go over to James 2:19. It reads, James 2:19, so we understand it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yah. Even the demons and devils know this. 2:19. Now, most people in these churches are afraid of demons. I know several of them. They, you know, they hear something go creeping on the wall, they ready to, you know, run out of there. You know, a roach come flying across the room, and they screaming, and you know, this fear all up in them. You know, let alone a demon come up in there. Thou believest, this is 2:19, James. Thou believest that there is one Yah. Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. It's funny that the devils got the fear of Yah in them, but most people ain't got the fear of Yah in them. That's the irony right there, you know. You know, I ain't never read about no demon talking back to Yah or Yahushua Mashiach, nothing like that. They always ran and cowered, you know.
Yes, sir.
But these stiff-necked people out here, they worse than devils. They worse than demons, man. You know? And you can't always blame the devil. Oh, it was that demon. Now that was you. That was you. That ain't always the devil. That's something. You know, a lot of that time that is you, your free will choice. The devil can only suggest you do it. You do it. You know, the devil makes you suggest. That's right. You know, the devil didn't pull the trigger. The devil suggested and moved you to, but you pulled the trigger. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we're gonna go to Deuteronomy chapter 32, 39 to 42. The fear of Yah is the beginning of understanding. It's the beginning of wisdom.
39 and 2.
Yeah, this is chapter 32, 39 to 42.
Oh, that's 32, 39, and 42.
Correct. All right, we're going to turn there. Deuteronomy 32, because a lot of people, you know, just don't have the fear of Yah. You know, they have this unhealthy image of love with Him. You know, it's a you know I can do all I do, and you know everything will be fine. That's not what the scriptures say. You know they can. You know, that's not what the scriptures say. Boy, sometimes I be feeling bad for y'all through your I be like, man, you got it rough. I'm telling you, really think about it. I mean, you know, millions of people who just don't want to listen over and over, thousands of years. I mean, yeah, I got some problems, you know. But this is Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 39 to 42. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. See, that go back to that when we was reading Ecclesiastes chapter 3, when he was establishing his alphaness, his superiority. You know, what I say, go. And right here, he's doing the same thing. He's establishing his alpha status with us. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So he's saying, that's why the scriptures say in Hebrews chapter 10, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living Yah. Who gonna save you from Yah?
Nobody.
Not your mom. You know, a lot of people, you know, call for their mothers. Mama, you know, your mama might be in hell. She got her own problems. You know what I'm saying? Like at that particular time, you know, a mother and a son and a father could be right next to each other in the line of judgment. And you know, they ain't got time to worry about your problems, your soul. They got their own salvation judgment to work out. You know? For I lift up mine hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I wheat, 41 and 1, that means sharpen. If I sharpen, this is my favorite verse out of this. If I sharpen my glittering sword and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make my arrows drunk with blood. Man, that's some boy. They don't know this Yah. They don't know Him, man. Talking about making your arrows drunk with blood. You know that means blood everywhere. You know that. That's some tough talk right there. I will make my arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain and of the captives from the beginning of revenges upon the enemy. That's some stuff you don't too much hear about in the churches, man. You know, they have forgotten that fear.
Everybody talking about how loving Yah is.
That's right. Oh, He's so loved, baby Jesus.
He forgive you for everything.
That's right. He forgive you for everything, and he is forgiving. He is, yeah. He ain't got to ask. He is forgiving, but He's not only forgiving. That's right. He know you evil too. He is forgiving. That can't be taken, but he also is somebody who requires you to have a healthy dose of fear with Him and not play with Him. And a lot of people have played with him, and this is the other side of him when you play with him. He say, if I sharpen my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold of judgment, I will render vengeance to my enemies and will reward them that hate me. I will make mine arrows drunk with blood. Man, that's a lot of killing right there. That's a lot of killing. Deuteronomy 28, 58 to 61. Deuteronomy chapter 58, 60, Deuteronomy 28, verse 58 to 61. Deuteronomy 28, verse 58 to 61 reads, If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of the law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name. You hear that? He said this, my glorious and fearful name. You know, like when they was on the mountain of Sinai, you know, when they saw that rumble in the jungle, you know, they was fear fell upon them. You know, they didn't want no parts of Yah at that particular time because they saw the immense, glorious fear of Yah at that particular time. And over time, people have lost their fear of Yah. Fear this glorious and fearful name, Yah, thy Elohim. Then El will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long countenance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wasn't afraid of. And why wasn't they afraid of? See, people gotta understand, because they was in Goshen chilling. They seen that, oh, they was like, that ain't come over here, we ain't worried about that. You know, well, we ain't, you know, they got pestilence, so we over here eating fruit and all that. They not worried about that, but he's saying, I will put it right at your doorstep. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt which thou wasn't afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. They're going to be at your footsteps now. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will Yah bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. That's, man, that's ain't fighting word. That's war. That's war. Man, he talking about destroying you, wiping you out. You know, and he means it too. You know, he ain't joking. Now we're gonna go to 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. Elohim killeth and make alive. He bring it down to the grave and bring it up. See right here, you know, it's perpetual thing throughout the Bible. You know, is this not one thing? Is this not Genesis, Luke, 1 Samuel, Proverbs? It's all throughout the Bible. The fear of Yah. He's trying to get your attention that he is the Alpha. He is the one who killeth. He is the one that maketh alive. He brings low. He raises up. And this is go back to the fear of Yah is a healthy thing for you, because a lot of people fear their managers at work. They wouldn't dare disrespect their manager at work. Oh no! You broke me up last time. No. They cut my hours. No, I ain't messing with him. Why? Because that manager has a little mustard seed of power over you, but y'all got all, can control you, whether you live, die, poor, rich, and you ain't got no fear of him. But the manager, the 5'7" manager, oh man, you know,
4'3" manager.
4-foot manager, you know what I'm saying? If it's a man, you know, oh man, he's so mean. If it's a female, oh man, she a B man. But when she come by, how you doing? You know, because you basically got the fear of that person in the presence, but you have no fear of the grand fear of the Most High and his glittering sword that could be right next to you at any moment. Now we're going to go to Psalms 50:22. Psalms 50:22. Now consider this. This is what Yah is saying. This is Psalms 50:22. Now consider this, ye that forget Yah, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. There we go back to that Alpha Bowl talk. You know, he's letting them know, man, you get in my hands, ain't nobody gonna save you. I don't care how much your grandma pray for you. You mine now.
Can't say it.
You know, she you know, all them prayers for grandma, I don't care what, you know, she can go in her closet all she wants. Just like the scripture say in Hebrews, it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of Yah. And he's letting you know, now consider this, ye that forget Yah, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver you. So these are things that, you know, you must rehearse, because he's not playing with none of us. He's not playing with the angels. He's not playing with Satan. Satan going to the pit, you know, after all this fiasco is over with. You know, that's, you know, who gonna save Satan? Nobody. Satan ain't gonna save Satan. Now we're gonna touch a little bit of Enoch, and I'll put it on the screen. Just we're gonna go to Enoch chapter 10. Enoch chapter 10. Enoch chapter 10, verse 4 to 9. This is Enoch chapter 10, verse 4 to 9. And again, Yah said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudal, and cast him therein. See, Azazel, even the angels, they have forgotten the fear of Yah, but Yah is about to remind them the fear of him. And place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth which the angels have corrupted, and proclaim the healing of the earth, that they may heal the plague, and that all the children of man may not perish, through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. And it's talking about their sons, not Adam's sons, the watchmen's sons, the Nephilims, those evil bastards. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribe all sin. And to Gabriel said to El, proceed against the bastards and the reprobates. Sound like you don't want to fall into the hands of an angry angel either. He talking about kill the bastards. And reprobates. Don't forget reprobates too. That's for mankind. The reprobates. And against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers from amongst man, and cause them to go forth. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For the length of days shall they not have, and no request that their fathers make of these shall be granted unto their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. See right here? Y'all got the whole team angry up there, boy. They all taking turns on how to kill the wicked. Kill the bastards. Kill the fornicators. Everybody. You know the scriptures, they like to say, oh, the angels are around him, talk about holy, holy, holy. They also kill the bastards. Kill the fornicators. They not only saying holy, holy, holy. Yeah, they talking about kill the wicked too. Okay, you know? But a lot of people don't have this fear, and they not understanding this about Yah. They do error not knowing this. Now we're going to go to Enoch 89. Enoch 89, verses 48 to 55. Enoch 89. (48 to 55). Enoch chapter 89, 48 to 55. And again I saw those sheep that they again erred. It might be, it should be written.
That's it. Just some way or another.
Yeah.
It's just wrote printed different up there than it is where you read it.
Yeah, a little different translation.
Yeah.
And again I saw those sheep that they again erred and went many ways. And the sheep is talking about humanity. And forsake that their house. They, like Israel, forsook Jerusalem. And Elohim of the sheep called some from amongst the sheep, and sent them to the sheep. But the sheep began to slay them, like the Hebrew Israelites when they slayed the prophets. And one of them was saved and was not slain. And it sped away and cried aloud over the sheep. And they sought to slay it, but Elohim of the sheep saved it from the sheep, and brought it up to me and caused it to dwell there. And many other sheep he sent to those sheep to testify unto them and lament over them. And after that I saw that when they forsook the house of El and his tower, they fell away entirely, and their eyes were blinded. Because the scripture says the fear of Yah is the beginning of understanding. The fear of Yah is the beginning of knowledge, wisdom. And if you don't have this fear, Satan's going to be able to trip you up in a lot of darkness. You're going to be blinded. 51. And I saw El of the sheep, how he wrought much slaughter amongst them in their herds, until sheep invaded that slaughter and betrayed his place. And he gave them over into the hands of the lions and tigers and wolves and hyenas, and into the hand of the foxes, and to all the wild beasts. And those wild beasts began to tear in pieces those sheep. They weren't just happened to overpower the Most High. The Most High opened the gate to them to kill the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that he forsook their house and their tower, and gave them all into the hand of the lions, to tear and devour them into the hand of all the wild beasts. And I began to cry aloud with all my power, and to appeal to El of the sheep, and to represent to him in regard to the sheep, that they were devoured by all the wild beasts. So the prophet right here is saying, like, hey, they really dying out here. It's getting bad out here. There's a lot of bloodshed out here. Y'all just letting you know. I don't know if you know what's going on down there, but they doing bad down there. 55. But he remained unmoved. I know what's going on down there. I let it happen, So that's a man. You have a prophet right there saying, hey man, it's bad out there, and Yah is saying, man, I don't care. Though he saw it, and rejoiced that they were devoured and swallowed and robbed, and left them to be devoured in the hand of all the beasts. So he intentionally let them be destroyed to the core. He didn't show them no mercy.
No mercy.
No mercy at all. Now we're going to go to Enoch 96 and verse 1. Enoch 96 and verse 1. Be hopeful, ye righteous, for suddenly shall the sinners perish before you. So he's letting us know that, hey, righteous, be hopeful for all that, because he's going to do something terrible to the sinner, and they all going to perish at once. So now we're going to go to Numbers chapter 16. So the wicked are going to perish at once. And we're going to go to Numbers chapter 16, 28 to 35. Numbers chapter 16, verse 28 to 35. And he's saying the wicked are going to perish. 16, 28 to 35. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that Yah has sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own hand. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then El hath not sent me. Meaning, that they're going to die uncommon death, and there ain't going to be no grave site to go look at them at. Ain't going to be no visitation. Oh, you know, I showed Miss so-and-so, you know, where they grave at. But if Yah make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked Yah. So they had no fear of Yah, and Moses right here saying they have provoked Yah. You don't want to provoke Yah. It's one thing to make Yah mad, but it's another thing to provoke him. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground cleaved asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed up them, and they perished from among the congregation. And this is 2:35. And all Israel that were round about them. So everybody's right there. They looking at this because you know Israel like to watch. You know, people nowadays, they like to bottleneck. So a lot of people were watching. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. Help me! No! They gone. Let me go before I die. I ain't trying to get caught up with you. And consumed the 250, and there came out. Let me finish that. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. For they said, Least the earth swallow us up too also. So they wasn't no helping you. The scripture say, when the Most High come for you, who gonna save you? They just gave a witness to this. When the Most High come killing you, everybody else leaving. Verse 35. And there came out a fire from El, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. So after he got finished swallowing up Korah and all of that, the rest of the so-called priests that was going against Moses, he brought fire down from heaven and killed them all. So you know what I'm saying, on that day they went to bed with nightmares. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have no good sleep that night. Enoch 99, 1 to 17. Enoch 99, 1 to 17. Woe to you who work godlessness, and glory in lying, and extol them. Ye shall perish, and no happy life shall be yours. Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness, and transgress the eternal law, and transform themselves into what they were not, into sinners. So saying, you know, the Most High made you light, and you want to go be a dark devil. They shall be trodden underfoot upon the earth. In those days make ready, ye righteous, to rise your prayers as a memorial, and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they may place the sin of the sinners for a memorial before Yah. In those days the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall arise on the day of destruction. And in those days the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them. So it's going to be so bad out here, you know, the fear of Yah going to come down where the wicked are going to abandon their children. You know what I'm saying? They doing that right now. You know, Mexico, Africa. You know, when it's time to cross that border, I mean, it's like, you know, you holding me back, baby. You know, you got the African bush people coming to kill everybody. You know that 30-pound child holding you back. You know, like, man, you know. But that's that fear, because they ain't got no power. So it's even happening right now. And they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Yea, they shall abandon their children that are suckling, and not return to them, and shall have no pity on their beloved ones, so that every man for themselves. And again, I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed. He say, man, he gonna do so much killing, just like he said in the Old Testament when he bathed the arrows with blood, that it's gonna be a day is prepared for unceasing bloodshed. You know, because most times you go, you know, at 12 o'clock after they do a lot of killing, you know, about 4 o'clock all the killing gonna be done. Nope. 7 o'clock, still. 10 o'clock, 2 in the morning, they still get. It's unceasing bloodshed. Okay? Now we're going to go to, we're done with Enoch. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. You got this unceasing bloodshed. You know, the Most High ain't playing with them. Ain't playing with nobody. See how they look in another aspect too. This is Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. Verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith El will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. That's that fire when everything's melting. You know, you ever seen one of those movies like the Terminator when they drop a nuclear bomb? The first thing that goes is the flesh, the eyes, the tongue, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So
the Most High is telling, man, this is like a scary movie right here, man, for the wicked and for the people who playing with y'all. And this shall be the plague wherewith El will smite all people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, just like he did with Korah and the 200 priests. When he rained that fire down, man, you talking about that went to instant boil. You know, that flesh, you know what I'm saying, ain't gonna sustain. Just like you gotta think about that fire when Elijah, when he was battling against the Baal prophets, he said he tested them, and he got the wood, and he said, put water on my wood, make it no more water.
More water.
And for a fire to light something that is soaked in wet, that thing got to be hot. So we understand how hot his flame gonna be when the eyes and the tongue gonna melt out of your mouth. It's gonna be some terrible day. That's why he said the killing will not cease. This light of death gonna go all night long. Ain't no hiding in the house, the basement. It's over. It's over. All right. Leviticus chapter 26, 14 to 34. Leviticus 26. Now, if you walk out of here and go sin, something wrong with you.
14 to what?
This is chapter 26, 14 to 32. Now, if you walk out of here to go sin or anything of that nature, and people who say they fear Yah, It ain't possible. You just, man, you're not smart. You know, he just said, man, he'll melt your eyes out. He'll open up the ground. And, you know, it's like, you know, like who gonna save you from him? You know?
Nobody.
Nobody, man. You know, you gotta have, you know, when sin come in your path, you gotta put it, you gotta weigh it against. You know what I'm saying? Do I want my eyeballs to melt out while I'm standing? No, thank you, prostitute. Or nah, I'm not about to steal anything. I don't want to even get caught up in that situation. 14 to 34. But if ye will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments. See, these aren't requests. He's not requesting for you to keep the commandments. He's not requesting for us to be pure. It's a demand. It's an order. And if ye shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that ye will not do all my commandments. See, again, he's not requesting you to do the commandments. He's not persuading you to do the commandments. He's telling you to do the commandments. It's not, you know, please do it. It's an order. But that ye break my covenant, I also will do this unto you. I will even appoint over you terror, consumption, and the burning, let me see what that burn, the fever. That could come in many ways, fever. There's many ways to burn. You know, there's sexual transmitted diseases that cause people to burn. There's fevers, you know, in the body temperature go out of whack, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it. And I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when no pursueth. You paranoid for destruction coming that point. You're being beat down so much, you just, you know, just like back in Jim Crow days, you know, a lot of brothers, they're paranoid. You know, they dare not look nobody in their eye. No, I ain't looking in your eye. You know, and they go with anywhere, servitude. You know, when in kingdoms and in Europe and France. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a class system. You know, you dare not look a king in their eyes and to approach a king. You'd be afraid to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? And if ye will not yet for all this hearken unto me, so he's saying right here, hey, I just told you I'm gonna do all this to you. But he say, if I do all this to you and you still don't listen to me, I got something else for you. I got a creative imagination. We can keep it going if you want to do it, you know. And if you will not yet for all this hearken unto me, then I will punish you 7 times for your sins, and I will break the pride of your power. See that coming? First thing he said right here, because there's pride. I ain't doing it. I don't care what he do to me. I ain't breaking. You can't break me, y'all. That's not true. We can keep this show. If it takes 2 years, 10 years to break you, you gonna have that breaking point with y'all.
And you gonna know it.
And ain't nobody gonna save you, you know what I'm saying? So what, it took you 10 years, you know what I'm saying? He broke you. And I will break the pride of your power, your stiff-neckedness. And I will make your heaven as iron, and your earth as brass. That means he's making you uncomfortable, your life uncomfortable. And your strength shall be spent in vain, for your land shall not yield her increase, neither shall the trees of the land yield their fruits. And if ye walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, he said, okay, after I do all that, that don't work. Fine, we can do this all day. I got all day. Matter of fact, time is irrelevant to me. I'm out of time. You know what I'm saying? And if you walk contrary unto me and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sin. And I will also send a wild beast among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number, and your high ways shall be desolate. And if ye shall not be reformed by me by these things, he say, if you ain't get it right yet, no problem. We can keep this show going. But walk contrary unto me, then will I also walk contrary unto you, and will punish you yet 7 times for your sins. And I think we up to 21 at this point. And I will bring a sword upon you, and I will bring a sword upon you that shall avenge the quarrel of my covenant. And when ye are gathered together with your cities, within your cities, I will send the pestilence among you, and ye shall be delivered into the hands of the enemy. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, check this out right here, this is deep right here. And when I have broken the staff of your bread, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven, so they are dividing your spoils. 10 women are dividing your spoils. These are the lions, the hyenas, the other nations that are coming to devour. And they shall deliver you your bread again by weight. So they said they took your loaf and they chopped it up in 10 pieces and said, I charge you $50 for that for 1/10 of it. You know what I'm saying? So they about to rob you. They shall deliver you your bread again by weight, and ye shall eat and not be satisfied. Because why? You went from 1 loaf and then you got a 1/10. I only got enough for 1/10. That's some humbling stuff right there. And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury, and I, even I, will chasten you 7 times for your sins. So we up to 28 right now. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. Y'all said, boy. I said, how low you want to take this? You know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to be eating finger shababs of your daughters and your sons? You know, you that hungry? Because in verse 24 he said, man, we not satisfied, we hungry. You start looking at little Bobby, man.
Boy, you look good.
Because why? You hungry. You hungry. They have taken your bread and divided it to you, you know, and you can't afford it. 30. And I will destroy your high places, and cut down your images, and cast your carcass upon the carcasses of your idols. So ain't that dirty? The idol that you worship, say he gonna dress that idol in your bodies. That's some messed up stuff right there, boy. You know, worship that. Y'all saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And my soul shall pour you, and I will make your cities waste, and bring your sanctuaries unto desolation. And I will not smell the savor of your sweet odors. And I will bring the land into desolation. And your enemies which dwell therein shall be astonished at it. What? They say, man, the enemy gonna say, man, you see what that guy did to them? He put them on the idol dead. He have the 30 bodies on that idol today, man. And And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out a sword after you, and your land shall be desolate. You hear that he said? And I will scatter you among the heathen, and will draw out the sword after you. After you running out for your life. Allah Akbar! Infidel! Man.
Who that other guy? The other guy over there. They worship. There's a Muslim guy.
Yeah, Allah.
No,
That's the only one.
they call him Allah.
Yeah, the one at the temple that worked the Kaaba stone. Okay. Yeah, but y'all say, man, after he destroyed your place of habitation,
Elijah Muhammad, one Elijah.
Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was the prophet Elijah Muhammad, their prophet, quote unquote, Elijah Muhammad. He went to go preach the gospel of the devil, Allah. He was basically a prophet, so to speak, for them. But he said, I'm gonna chase you out of here with swords, boy. You know. Then it says 34. Then shall the land enjoy her Shabbats. You hear that right there? It says because they're not letting the land rest because of their folly. As long as it lieth desolate, and ye shall be and ye be in your enemy's land, even then shall the land rest and enjoy her Shabbats. So wow, boy, y'all ain't playing with them. You know, he say, how low do you want to go? 7 times more, 7 times more. You know, you see what y'all got to deal with here, man. You got to deal with a rebellious people, boy. You know, the first time you would say, okay, you know what I'm saying, the first affliction, okay, I get it. He say, man, they still ain't get it. Another one. Man, we got to come up with some more stuff. You know the angels up there, they'll help y'all come up with some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anybody got any ideas?
Yeah,
you know?
do this to him.
Try this. Have you tried this?
And it don't. And well, I know it's gonna work because you the one doing it.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So the angels just ain't sitting there. You know, just sitting down. They having communication. You know. Now we're gonna go to 2 Kings, chapter 6, 24 to 29. Chapter 6, verse 24 to 29. And it came to pass after this that Ben-Hadad, sound like Bin Laden, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. So understand, a donkey head.
Yeah.
But understand this is not common meat. Because of the famine, they eating anything, man. Hey man, you got any donkey? Oh, you say you got anything to eat, man? I got a donkey head, man. 5. I'm hungry. Check it out. See what y'all doing here. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head, a donkey head, was sold for 80 pieces of silver. And how much is that? 25 and 1? 80. 80 pieces of silver. Did you check that out? 80 pieces of silver. You check that out? 80 pieces of silver. In today's market, 80, an ounce of silver. Or that's probably a Troy's ounce, not probably a full ounce, but so a Troy ounce, not a Troy ounce. Let's just say it's 1/4 of silver prices today. An ounce of silver is roughly about $5 times
80.
80.
5 times 8 is what, 35?
5 times 80.
Yeah, but
That's more than 35. That's
Yeah.
$400.
how I do it is 5 times 8 is 35. Then count on over from add to 0.
Hey, that's right. You do it,
$450, $350.
Okay. But that's how hungry they were. Who gonna spend $400 on a donkey's head to eat?
Ass head.
You gotta be hungry. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? So they hungry right here. And as the king 26, well, let me finish the 25. Until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove dung for 5 pieces of silver.
Done. Why they paying for done?
They are so hungry that they are buying pieces of dung of doves. That's hungry. So when y'all say, if you don't listen to me, I'll do 7 times more. He wasn't joking. He not joking. You got to be hungry to spend $400 on a donkey head. Man, you can buy a whole donkey for $200 probably. I don't know, but that's expensive. And the king 26, and as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help me, my Lord, O my king. She's not talking to the Most High. She's talking to the king. They would also call the Lord. This means master.
Right.
And he said, if the Lord, the Most High, do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? What the scripture say? It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living Yah. The king right here, looking at the desolation, he said, obviously you don't see what's going on. Obviously, you didn't get the memo. You didn't get the scroll. The Most High mad at us. We all going through problems.
You was too busy out there playing the role.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So this is some big stuff right here. The king is like, man, I can't do nothing for you. You know, the Most High to move his hand on us. But check this out. And he said, if the Most High do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the brine floor, out of the wine press. You see that right there? And the barn floor is when they beat wheat. You know, so it's a violent thing. So he's basically saying we are being thrust on the floor by Yah. In the wine press, they would just stump down around. They would break the grapes. So he's basically saying we in a horrible condition here. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? Even though he know he can't help you, but hey, if you need somebody to listen to you, I got an ear for you. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. My brother, my people, check this out. But the Most High says, I will make you so hungry. Remember that piece of bread? He said, I will divide that bread into 10 pieces, and you're going to have to buy it from the other people, your enemy, and you're not getting enough. And he said, I will make you so hungry, you will eat the flesh of your children. He fulfilled that prophecy. He wasn't playing. He wasn't joking. So this woman is so out of her mind at this point with hunger,
she is complaining to the king who is supposed to dispense justice
about
Look,
the
man,
other woman.
we had an agreement yesterday because we hungry. We said we would eat my child yesterday, and today we was going to eat her child. Now, we ate my child yesterday. That's the code for it. She ate her child with her, but the next day when it came to her child, because she know it's wrong, but she's so hungry, the ribs are touching the spine, you know what I'm saying? The flesh touching the ribs, you know what I'm saying? You hungry. That growling, unstoppable growling, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no $400 to buy no donkey head. How much meat is on a donkey head?
Not much.
How much meat is on a donkey head, man? Could you imagine that? Because they head are slender, it's very slim. Ain't much, but that's how hungry you are, though. Look, man, I got the money, man. Whatever y'all got scraps. $500, I'll take it.
When they eating dung of a bird, you know that.
And not eating dung of a bird. I mean, 29. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, hey Samantha, now tomorrow. Remember, we ate my little Samuel, and tomorrow we eat your Isaiah tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, it was agreements why them fingers was in that mouth.
Got the wishbone.
Them reels was in the mouth. Girl, I was okay. Thank you. Yeah, this is a good idea. But that's how sick. Look at them, how sick they have come because they have fully experienced the wrath of Yah. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her, on the next day, give thy son that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son from me. This woman is bugged out of her mind with demons. She is complaining about she don't get to kill another Hebrew child or a child in general and eat that child. Mm-hmm. And she's going to the king and telling the king how ridiculous the other woman's being. When the Most High say it is a fearful thing to fall in his hand, he not playing, because he say, I will break your pride. You know how, because they would esteem their children. Oh, my children, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them wouldn't discipline their children, nothing that they just growing them up. This is my thing, this is mine. And the Most High has put you so low that you're eating your children now.
Well, they doing the same thing now because they ain't disciplining their children now.
Oh, and wait until the wrath comes. Oh my, the scriptures say either you gonna take the mark of the beast or you gonna starve or you get your head cut off. What, you know what I'm saying? You about to go through some tribulations. A lot of people are gonna do some bad things before they go take the mark of the beast. They gonna be eating people. And they say, I can't take this no more. I'm taking the mark. Because best believe the air conditioner, anybody who ain't got the mark, they ain't about to be having no air conditioning. They ain't going to be having no services. They ain't about to be having no food. They ain't about to be having no clothes, no shelter. That's going to wear on a lot of people. A lot of people can't transition to that. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why the scriptures say, come out of my people, partake not in her delicacies, because right now it's so beguiled and comfortable right now. You know, I go in my car, turn on my air, my heat, I got gas, I got food, I can order some food. I'm comfortable right now. And a lot of people don't want to lose that. But when that choice comes, well, you got to sell your soul in order to get a fruit snack basket, a hot pocket. You want some steak? That's the price of your soul. And a lot of people going to sell it.
That don't mean nothing to me because I won't see it no way.
And once you put that piece of your steak in that mouth, ooh, it was all worth it. Oh, how you have heard, boy. When that fire come from heaven and your eyes melt, it wasn't worth it. Now continue in 30. And when it came to pass, I'm just going to read a little bit of this to see the king's reaction. And it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes and he passed by upon the wall. And the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. Then he said, Yah, do so and more also to me, if the head of Elijah, the son of Shaphat, shall stand on him this day. So the king has been brought down to sackcloth, because what he has heard, they have fallen this low. But the Most High said, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to break your pride. Because it's a pride thing right there. I ain't got to fear you. What can you do to me? Because the scripture says, well, if that don't work, I'm going to go 7 times harder on him. If that don't work, I'm going to go 7 times harder on him. I will be contrary to you. All right? Now we're going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 12. I mean, you got to be pretty low, but the Most High said this would happen. The king was like, man, this woman has lost her mind. Lost it. Gone. 2 Samuel 12. (8 to 14). 8 to 14. Second Samuel chapter 12, 8 to 14. And I gave thee thy master's house, and thy master's wives, and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. So the backstory of this is David has committed adultery and murdered a man, and got this woman who he did this adultery act pregnant. Now the Most High is about to show David he should have had, when he looked upon Bathsheba's naked body, as she just got finished from her cycle. It was Hebrew custom. When a woman finished her cycle, she used to cleanse herself. That's why she was doing the ritual. That's why I say she did the ceremony of cleansing. So she fresh. She clean.
Fresh and clean.
Spiritually, body and all that. And David is about he didn't have the fear of Yah at that moment. He had the spirit of complete lust, and his own desire was number one to himself. But the Most High is going to show him why he should have had the fear of Yah at all times. Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of El to do evil in his sight? Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. And now, therefore, the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife. Thus said Yah, behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thine own house. Woo!
And the son came after.
The scriptures say, I ain't gonna go to the story of it, but the sword never left David's house. He was serious. And I will take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives. And who was his neighbor? It was his own son.
Absalom.
It wasn't just anybody, because the king would have probably killed that person too. They would have probably killed him. But Yah say, you know what? I'm gonna set it up. Since you want to do this, you gonna kill your son, David? Complete embarrassment for the king. Everybody in Israel was talking about that, because he did it on top of one of the highest houses in the community. Who up there with David's wives? Oh, that's David's son up in there with his concubines. 10 of them. 10 of them. Take thy wives before thine eyes, and give them unto thy neighbor, and he shall lie with them with thy wives in the sight of the sun. Woo! For thou didst it secretly, but I will do this thing before all Israel and before the sun. That means this ain't nobody not gonna know what's going on. Everybody knows this. It was 12 noon. Everybody saying that boy, probably had some sex sounds, you know what I'm saying?
10, and it was amplified.
Or the Most High probably gave him some extra strength, you know what I'm saying? 10 women up there, man, here, take some
Viagra.
Not back the roots.
Yeah, some kind of root.
Nah, it's the root,
ginger root.
Not ginger root. It's a root in I forgot, it's in the Bible. It's in what Father Jacob was giving. Nah, it was Jacob. They gave it to him. I forgot the root, but mandarin. They probably gave him a whole bag full of mandarin. Here, keep your strength up. You got 10 of them to embarrass your father before everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Verse 13. And David said unto Nathan, I have sinned against El. And Nathan said unto David, El also hath put away thy sin. Thou shalt not die. Howbeit, because by this deed thou hast given great occasion to the enemies of El to blaspheme, the child also that is born unto thee shall surely die. They was talking about David for at least a year. He was the hot drama topic for a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because the child was still born, and David went into immediate sorrow. It was no, decoration and moving around fasting and all these things. All right. So we see what happens when David fell into Yah's hand, because he did not fear Yah. His lust outweighed the fear of Yah. Now we're gonna go to John chapter 2, 13 to 17. John chapter 2, 13 to 17. To get this fear, man, is healthy. You don't want to be like David. David was an example. David would never do that again.
Oh, he ain't gonna do it again.
But he would never do it again. That's the point. John chapter 2, 13 to 17. Now, this is the New Testament. This is Yahushua HaMashiach. Because a lot of people be like, well, that's the Old Testament. He really don't be doing that no more. He ain't about to milk nobody's eyes. That's Old Testament God. The new God, he knew and approved. He happy,
And we can't do nothing wrong.
We can't do nothing wrong in his eyes. We his beloved. Yeah, or whatever. 2 John chapter 2, John chapter 2, 13 to 17. And the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep, and doves, and the changers of money. And when he had made a scourge of small cords. So, Yahushua Mashiach seeing what's going on. He looking, he walking by, okay. So Yahushua Mashiach go sit down somewhere and go make a whip. This ain't me saying, this is the Bible saying.
Yeah, I know.
He went to go sit down. I'm talking about for the people who got a misunderstanding about him. He went to go sit down, and I don't know how, he a professional, so he made it very tight so they wouldn't break anything. He got some good quality leather, you know what I'm saying? And when he had made a scourge of small cords, so it's looked like a pom-pom. You know, like cheerleaders be having,
yeah.
But just imagine it leather though. A bunch of leather straps. He drove them out of the temple, and the sheep, and the oxen, and poured out the changers of money, and overthrew the tables, and said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, make not my Father's house a house of merchandise. And his disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up. So my point in saying this, because they didn't have the fear of Yah, the fear of Yah came upon them in the form of a beating. Yahushua Mashiach going through all that the temple, just flipping tables and beating people.
The money changers.
The
and
money
the sellers stuff that they shouldn't be in, in the service of selling.
Just selling some doves and sheep for lucre's sake. Just trying to make some money. And he beat them. Bet they didn't go back there and do it again.
They probably ain't go back to the temple either.
Because he beat them.
Yeah.
All right, Luke chapter 13, 43 to 48. Most of these people who read the Bible don't know nothing about Christ beating people when he was here. You ask the average person who read the Bible, hey, did Christ ever beat anybody? Absolutely not. What's wrong with you? Bro, he died for me. He didn't come here to beat nobody. See, you got the devil on you. well, Christ gonna beat the devil out of you. 13, chapter 13, 43 to 48. Luke 13. Did I write the wrong one down?
My dad called it, no.
Yeah, ain't no 43.
35, the last one.
Is it 12? Maybe it's 12. Yeah, it's probably 12. Yeah, it's 12. Luke chapter 12, 43 to 48. 43. Blessed is that servant whom his master, when he cometh, shall find so doing. I'm talking about doing of good works. Of a truth I say unto you, Yahushua Mashiach is saying this again. He's establishing his alphaness, his dominance. I'm telling you the truth. This gonna happen. That he will make him ruler over all that he has. But, this is the truth too. But, and if that servant say in his heart, my master delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the manservants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, the master of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder. Cut him in sunder. Cut in sunder means he gonna cut you into two pieces. So he gonna cut you and he gonna chop you up with that. You remember the glittering sword? He said, I bathed my glittering sword. He gonna cut you into two. Your upper torso will be over there. Your legs will be over there.
Still walking around and you still looking at.
However it goes, he say he gonna cut you in asunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant which knew his master's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So we know that Yahushua Mashiach will get hands on and beat some people. So he's not playing. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. Okay, now we'll go to Revelations chapter 2, 20 to 23. Revelations chapter 2, verse 20 to 23. Now this is talking about, again, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom. And if you don't have the fear, he has a whole team of people, of beings with great ideas to torment you. You know, like Hollywood, they got the Hollywood writers, they always coming up with scripts. Y'all got a whole team of angels up in there. I got a new one. Have you tried this yet, y'all? Giving out ideas, it is never a dull moment for ideas in heaven. Verse 20, notwithstanding I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornications, and she repented not. Here's the main part. Because they didn't have the fear of Yah, hear what he about to do. Behold, I will cast her into a bed. That means once the hand of Yah move on you, that's it. It ain't no, I'm getting out of this bed. Oh, no. You stand. You like to play rough? He'll put some handcuffs on you in the bed. You stand in this bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to do some freaky stuff? You know how they be doing all that stuff? Handcuff you to the bed, because you stand in this bed, because why? Judgment is coming. And behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of their deeds. We know many ain't going to repent, so that bed going to be full of whoremongers. And I will kill her children with death. And all the churches shall know that I am he which searches the ruins of
the reins
and hearts, and I will give unto every one of you according to your works. So we understand what he's going to do to them who do evil works is clear as day. He's going to put you into a bed with your fornications, and he's going to do a whole bunch of things that are going to terrorize these people. All right, the last one is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. For this is the whole conclusion of the whole Bible in this one verse right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. So sum this up. Sum all this up. You know, Genesis to Revelations. What is the conclusion here? let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And we understand, if you decide not to fear Yah, he will have you roasting your children's fingers on the barbecue. He will have you buying donkey heads because that's the only thing to eat. He will have you buying dove dung, feces, whatever you want to call it, just to get some substance of food in you. So that means he will break your pride, he will break you low. And then if it's not to break you to do right, he will break you to get you ready for hell. So I hope y'all got some out the lesson, and pray that